Hey everybody. Okay, so we are starting off with we're getting on to our Resident Evil marathon and just really quickly updating the link for the video on Instagram because I was making a reel. And yeah, so sorry to sidetrack us. But we should be pretty much all set in a moment. Oops. It's a good thing I updated it because it actually is a different link. So, oh, sorry, almost there, guys. I'm saying almost there, but you know. Okay. Almost done. Sorry, guys. I am like literally on the finishing process of making the reel, and then we will get on to the game. um. Okay. Alright. Whew, sorry. That took a moment, but yeah. Alright, so we're pretty much ready to go. Okay, alright guys, sorry for the wait. Alright guys, welcome to Resident Evil Resident Evil Marathon. I've been wanting to do Resident Evil on the stream for like a minute now. It's just that I took so long for some reason. No, I'm kidding. But no, I was saving Resident Evil for a weekend and then just waited till Sunday to do it because I procrastinate like no, I'm kidding. But no, yeah, so I procrastinated a little bit, yes. So we're here playing Resident Evil Director's Cut is the first game we're gonna go. Actually, no, I'm lying. The first game we're gonna play is Resident Evil 0, obviously. But actually, no, because the first thing I'm gonna do is play the intro video. See, maybe I crop this out a different day, but alright guys, so that was the introduction. Okay, so we are starting out with Resident Evil, not Code Veronica. Yeah, I definitely have to re-upload this video another day. Okay, so we're starting with Resident Evil. Resident Evil 0, as it says here. Okay, so we're starting with Resident Evil 0. Sorry, guys. Yes, I definitely have to. Edit this another day and repost it. We're starting 31 minutes from 6:56, so we're gonna finish at 7:27. All right, let's start with the beginning.
Resident Evil 0.
I love my widescreen, can't help it. The original control scheme, yes, and subtitles must.
A midwestern town in America, Raccoon City. A solitary island far off in the sea, Rockfort Island. An island that would become the second Raccoon City, Sheena Island. There are still many unanswered questions about these seemingly unrelated yet intensely traumatic events. Though it is believed that the international enterprise umbrella was somehow involved, little is known as to the origin of this faceless corporation. When was it established? By whom? And how was the T-virus created?
So, I have a confession. I've yet to beat this game.
Deeper into the events which transpired in the beginning, before the mansion incident.
off for a while.
I wonder how those are react to this.
But yeah, this intro remains very horrific. Actually, hold on. Let me go back. Okay, I'm gonna start from scratch because I was distracted.
Resident Evil 0.
Sorry for the ringer, everybody. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna start from scratch. Okay, so let's just go straight from 7 a.m. I mean 7 p.m. Alright guys, we're here, Resident Evil 0. Welcome. Thank you for coming, Taina. Yes, Team Pink. Woo! Yes, Team Pink is very important. Today's Breast Cancer Walk Day. Please take a look at the description to find the link to donation page for a donation for Making Strides team.
The international enterprise umbrella was somehow involved. Little is known as to the origin of this faceless corporation. When was it established? By whom? And how was the T-virus created?
Yes, so Resident Evil 0 is a great game. I've only played a portion of it, I have to confess. I never beat the whole thing, but I do want to beat the game eventually. Maybe I'll put that on the stream eventually one day on this channel. But this is a chilling introduction, I have to say. Very good.
Do you think so too?
Solid introduction to the game. And a great game, from what I played so far. But I've heard from everybody that's played it say great game. Amazing prequel to the original game. Adds a lot to the story and the lore of the universe of Resident Evil. Guy does look like a Final Fantasy character, I'll say that much. I'm kidding. These things always creep me out, the leeches. Oh, it's so gross. Yep, so here is the infamous scene where Bravo team
Investigation of some bizarre murders in the suburbs of Raccoon City.
goes in.
Nothing in
This
our
just
training
shows how
could
Bravo
ever
team
have
went in
prepared us
first
for the
before,
nightmare that ensued.
before the beginning of Resident Evil 1.
Never stood a chance.
What's going on? Engine failure. Emergency landing.
I love Rebecca. She's literally one of the classic heroines of Resident Evil. Part of that hashtag women power. Ah, classic heroine.
Captain, look.
And they really allowed her to shine in this game.
Captain.
What happened?
Ugh.
Court order for transportation. Prisoner Billy Cohen,
26.
Lieutenant, 26 years old. Court-martialed and sentenced to death July 22nd. Prisoners to be transferred to the Regathon base for execution.
Those poor soldiers. men just doing their jobs, and that scum murdered them and escaped.
All right, everyone, let's separate and
They really have no idea yet what's going on. Billy is a red herring, unlike in Scream, where he was a red herring, but was he? I don't want to spoil Screaming. It has been out for a while, but still.
A train.
Now, the classic Resident Evils are so great at building tension and like suspense and eerie atmosphere. Like, what an amazing introduction. Just really sets the tone and gets you like hyped for that freaking tension and brilliance that's to come. Alright, so here we are. We start out with controlling the lovely Rebecca Chambers inside the train car. It's amazing how none of these leeches were just lying around here. I mean, you'll see them in a bit, but I mean, like in the main cars, when they seem to be swarming the whole dang place, but now they're nowhere to be found.
This is Officer Chambers from STARS Bravo team. Please identify yourself. Is someone there?
The government has announced that it has set out to uncommon, but as of 2 years ago, when a several plans were set out, the local government stepped in and took over.
Then Rebecca sees her first zombie and has... How do I? Ah! I like how I got bit like right away. Yeah, freak this. I'm out of this car. I tried to press the the aim, ready your weapon button, but it didn't work. It's weird. Oh, it's this button instead. Okay. I mean, that's fine. I can deal with that. Oh, I gotta love that save room music. It's so iconic. I mean, this one, all the save room musics in classic survival horror Resident Evil are just so good. And this, finding the files in Resident Evil was such a great way of building the story and the universe around the game. Telling the story in like a different, unique way, which is great. Investigation orders, stained with blood. We just found these papers, by the way. We're gonna see what it says. Stained with blood, some sections are illegible, sorry, wow. Sorry, guys. I get it. 8 miles north of Raccoon City in the Arklay Mountains lies our company's management training facility. It was shut down years ago. Now we are conducting a preliminary study into reopening one of the facilities. First investigation unit is already on site and opening the investigation. I want your team to provide support. The following orders are from William Birkin. Ooh. He's a very big name in Resident Evil 2's main antagonist. William Birkin and First Investigative Unit. The rest is torn and unreadable. Alright, so we got our first file. Okay. Oops, I should have gotten the ink ribbon. Those classic Resident Evil door transitions. Man. I'm so happy that we at least got Resident Evil 0 and 1 in the classics. Resident Evil 1 remake and 0 in the style of the classic survival horror era Resident Evils. You know, the fixed camera angles, the door animations, everything, but with new like generation graphics. I mean, fine, Code Veronica was on the next gen, but this Resident Evil 0 and the Resident Evil 1 remake really took it to the next level with the graphics, and it was just so amazing. Uh-oh. Oh, shit.
Billy.
Billy Loomis. Not okay.
Cohen.
So, you seem to know me. Been fantasizing about me, have you?
You're the prisoner
Maybe.
that was
No,
being
I'm kidding.
transferred for execution. You were with those soldiers outside.
I see. You're with
That's such a
stars.
crush on Billy.
Well, no offense, honey, but your
No,
kind
it's a
doesn't seem
team.
to want me around. So, I'm afraid our little chat time is over.
Wait! You're under arrest.
No thanks, Dollface. I've already worn handcuffs.
I could shoot, you know.
Indeed, though, I feel like she was so, I don't want to say innocent, but she was so sweet in her own way, even though, like,
Edward! Are you alright?
Edward Cullen.
What
No, I'm kidding.
happened?
Worse than... We can't. You
Man, this guy looks really messed up.
The forest is full of zombies and monsters.
Zombies and monsters.
She looks so like porcelain, like she's like a porcelain doll almost, like almost like her animation was just perfect. Okay, I was just shooting at nothing, which is great. Yeah, I'm getting out of here. I'm a little rusty. It's been a while since I played RE0. And the thing is, for some strange reason, the control scheme is different. Like, it's not your typical square is run and all that. It's different. It's like circle is run, which I guess is like the Japanese style. But could be confusing. She's so damaged that one herb didn't do anything. Poor Rebecca. Sorry, girl. Didn't mean to get you messed up.
This is Rebecca. Over.
Enrico. Shit. He comes on in Resident Evil 1.
Enrico! Hello! Can you read me? Please respond.
Rebecca, I can hear you. Now listen up. We've obtained detailed information on the fugitive from a document found in the wrecked wagon. Billy Cohen killed as many as 23 people. Over.
23 people.
We've also confirmed that he was institutionalized, so keep your guard up.
It's all a red herring, though. They don't realize that Billy is actually framed, if I'm not mistaken.
Rebecca, you wouldn't think twice before killing you.
Enrico! Captain! Hello? Hello!
That was terrifying. Yes, throw the dang key away. The classic thing from Resident Evil, when you're done with an object. When you're done with an object, you're able to discard it, which is great.
It's gonna be dangerous from here on in. Why don't we cooperate?
Cooperate with you?
Listen, little girl, if you haven't noticed, there's some pretty freaked out things on this train. And I, for one, want to get out of here. I don't think we stand a chance doing it alone.
You expect me to trust you, a wanted felon? I don't need your help. I can handle this on my own. And don't call me little girl.
All right, Miss Do-It-Yourself. What should I call you?
The name is Rebecca Chambers, but that's Officer Chambers to you.
Well then, Rebecca, why don't you go and try while I wait here?
So yeah, she had her first encounter with Billy, and then she finds out that he killed all these people supposedly, and then she meets him again. Though he doesn't seem like he would kill her without thinking about it. I mean, he's let her live twice, so something doesn't quite add up here. He's obviously not what they think he is, or not quite what they think he is.
Excuse me, sir. Sir.
Oh, yeah, poor Rebecca, man. This is like oh, the leeches. Now they form the infamous zombie leech. Or leech zombie, rather. That scared the out of me, I remember. Those guys are a pain. It's like a reach. I thought that I accidentally got killed when I first saw this for the first time. Although, like, fear effect with those death cutscenes, but no, thankfully not.
Are you okay?
I mean, he saved her life at this point. There's definitely something not right about the story being told about him.
Who is that guy?
The Leech King, bro. Not kidding. Clearly, I mean, all the leeches were around him and praising him.
Check out the first engine car. Listen, we gotta cooperate with each other from now on. You got that?
Well, I don't...
Clue in, girl. Or maybe you like being worm bait.
All right. But you just remember, I will shoot you if you try anything funny.
Fine. Now take these with you. If you find anything, give me a call, all right?
So, one thing that made Resident Evil 0 very unique was this partner mechanic. So you could control two characters at the same time. Essentially. Like, if you could control one at a time and the other one would follow you, but you'd have access to both characters and be able to switch at will. It's like, now I'm in control of Billy, and now I'm in control of Rebecca. So there's a switch button that you could use to switch between them, and it's really cool. And you could actually tell one partner to stay behind while you go ahead, so you don't put them both at risk, or, you know, travel together. Yeah. One of the more challenging aspects of Resident Evil 0, however, was the fact that there's no more item boxes, so you had to sort of drop your items in the area that you're in and backtrack to get them. And you couldn't command your partner to shoot or not to shoot. Although, honestly, right now, I think we need the double power. Yeah, definitely needed the double power there because, like, come on, man. Like, poor Rebecca. I sort of put her in a bad spot at first by forgetting how to play the dang game. Not forgetting, but yeah. Freaking dogs! Oh, thank you. Yes, more handgun bullets. That's horrible. There's something about that I noticed about the environment is that the train has like a very old-timey look, almost like some kind of Murder on the Orient Express type deal. But yeah. Yeah, it's the only game that features Billy, unfortunately. You don't really see him return. And that doesn't mean what you think it does, by the way. He survives this. It's just that for some strange reason. Sorry. Didn't mean to leave you hanging, Billy. It's interesting how this game starts you off on a moving train, which is really something. Very different from the other games in this series. Oh. The leech eggs. They're really something gross, those leeches, man. And I'm so happy they remastered Resident Evil 0 and 1 Remake. I was so worried that they would be forever, not so much forever, but they would be lost or locked onto the GameCube / Wii, because they actually had ports they made for the Wii as well. But thankfully, they ported them and gave them an HD remaster, which I was hoping they would do for so many years. And they finally did it in 2015, and I was like, right at the start. Well, they did it in 2015 for Resident Evil Remake, and 2016 for Resident Evil 0. And then they did when Resident Evil 0 was released, they did a physical dual pack for both of them, which I of course bought for the PlayStation 4, and pretty much bought all my Resident Evil games on the PS4. But the newer ones, that is. Oh yes, I could lower the ladder. Oh, actually, no, I'm going up to the roof. Yeah, it's interesting how you can get on the top of this moving train and have such and in a rainstorm on top of that and not slip off somehow. Soon they just get any closer, but I thought we were gonna jump in there. I'm like stuck over here. I thought I was able to get in through here. And this train is not going slow. There's clearly a lot of speed on this thing, and yet they're managing to balance themselves on this roof. It's incredible. Wearing pink for breast cancer awareness, guys. It's breast cancer awareness day, or breast cancer walk day. Breast cancer walk day. But it's breast cancer walk day, but breast cancer awareness month. Breast cancer awareness month. Please, there's a link in the description. Guys. You could donate to the team. My mom spearheads this breast cancer walk team. Today was the walk, so please, if you could give whatever you can, it'd be so appreciated. Be so appreciated. Yeah, Resident Evil 0, I tend to get lost in the intro of this game because I've played it the least. So I don't have as much of a sense of direction as I do with the other games. Thank you everyone who's watching, by the way. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Tanya. I appreciate that. So much. I really do. Doctor's office. Yeah, the levels in Resident Evil are a puzzle in themselves, or the areas rather, because there's no like levels per se. Alright guys, so let's let's try to figure out where we're going here. Unless Resident Evil 0 just becomes a kind of a wandering simulator for the first part of this stream. Yep, there's no power, it's not gonna open. There's a key card we have to get. Although I don't know where the key card is. I know that well, it didn't do much for us last time, unfortunately. It was like I somehow activated a cutscene up there on the roof that allows me to get into that hole in the roof. I can get around this thing? Okay. I mean, it's winter, so I think it's a bad idea. I mean, it's raining. Okay, okay. Oh. Damn leeches. It's weird how they just appear and disappear like that. Well, at least, thankfully, I was able to get into the hole, as I intended. Although, it was because of damn leeches throwing me in there, not because I, you know, wanted to get in there. I'm kidding. Well, actually, I did want to get in there, but they forced me, damn it. What kind of leechy shit is that? Where's poor Rebecca? She's still out there? I gotta get her out. Something sharp. Huh. Yeah, poor Rebecca. Just to get that sharp object that'll help him open the door, otherwise he's stuck there. Yay, there's power again. Doesn't seem to be anything of use, she says. Well, that's true. Nice, so this is gonna be what allows us to send the item that he needs to get out of the room. Such a brilliant mechanic, allows you to go between rooms. Okay. Need to find a sharp object. To get Billy out of that room. Let's see. Making... Yeah. I think I'm gonna spend the majority of the rest of this game on the train. I mean, I could have potentially gotten on the train if I would have remembered how to get, like, speedrun this area, but it's been a while. Poor Billy's just sitting there. Oh! I gotta give her the key. My bad. Duh. That way she can open the door, and I forgot. Alright guys, well we actually reached the end of our Resident Evil 0 segment, so let's go ahead and go on to the next game, which is going to be Resident Evil, the original, and I mean the original because I'll do Resident Evil Remake on a different day. I know it would seem kind of apropos to keep going with a similar graphic scheme, and do the remake of Resident Evil 1, which would match Resident Evil 0 a little more. But I decided instead to just go classic. Alright. So here we are. We are now on to our next game, which is Resident Evil 1. It's actually the director's cut, but it's the one I had. It's the got it when I was a kid. And I was about like 11 or 12. I had played Resident Evil 3 as my first Resident Evil. But Resident Evil director's cut, I remember getting it from a little store in my neighborhood called Game City a while back. And oh man, that was the best store ever. And I was like, you know what, I didn't have a copy of part 1, and I wanted to play through part 1, so I'm like, you know what,
Resident Evil.
I'm like, let's go ahead and play. Of course we're gonna choose Jill, because Jill is the original Resident Evil badass heroine, who then goes on to be the star of Resident Evil 3, which was my first Resident Evil, that's why I love Jill so much. And yes, Yes, we are playing. Oops. I even did a video, like a year and a half ago. I did a dedication stream to her during Women's Month.
Situated in northwest
in
Raccoon
March
City,
2021.
where we're searching for the helicopter of our compatriots Bravo team, who disappeared during the middle of our mission.
Found it?
No, I haven't found it yet. Bizarre murder cases have recently occurred in Raccoon City. There are outlandish reports of families being attacked by a group of about 10 people. Victims were apparently...
Hey, Steve-O, welcome.
Bravo team went to the hideout of the group.
We're on the original Resident Evil. We already did Resident Evil 0 for 31 minutes, and now we're on the original Resident Evil.
It was Bravo
Hey,
team's
man.
helicopter.
Oh my god,
Nobody
thank
was in
you
it,
for being here.
But
Appreciate
strangely,
it.
most of the equipment was
Thank you
still
guys, so sweet of you guys to be here.
However,
Appreciate
we
it.
soon discovered why.
Oh my god, the original cast of heroes, and it's for this introduction they used actual live action footage of like these actors, and it was such a unique and thing to do. And a lot of games are using animation, and they do have animated cutscenes in this as well. Not so much starring the cast though. I think it's just segments of the game that have like CGI cutscenes. But this introduction is all live action. This is like the classic original Resident Evil introduction. The iconic opening that lives for all time.
No! Don't go!
Ah man, our original team, so it's Jill, Chris, Wesker, and Barry. The Alpha team.
Jill, run for that house!
The house. Not that house, Chris. The house. This is where it all began. Gotta love this
Chris
introduction.
Redfield.
So they introduce us to our heroes.
Jill Valentine.
Ooh, Jill. Another man, Jill. She's the GOAT, man.
Rebecca Chambers.
She does come out in it, so she.
Albert Wesker.
You notice that they listed her in the opening. She'll come out later on in the game.
Resident Evil.
Oh man, that was such a brilliantly 90s and nostalgic introduction. I love it. It's so timeless, that intro. It's where it all began.
What is this? Wow. What a mansion.
Captain Wesker, where's Chris?
Stop it. Don't open that door.
But Chris is...
What is it? Maybe it's Chris. Now, Jill, can you go?
I'm going with you. Chris is our old partner, you know.
Okay, let me handle this.
This what? Okay, the okay, so in case you haven't noticed,
Stay alert.
the original Resident Evil actually, I don't know if it still does, but it held the Guinness Book of World Record for worst gaming dialogue of all time. But it's so great. It's so
A dining room.
it's so iconic, the voice acting. It's so infamous for how bad it is, but like so of its time period and nostalgic. Oh, finally my run button is back to the square button, quote unquote square button.
What? What is this?
What is it?
Blood. Jill, see if you can find any other clues. I'll be examining this. Hope this is not Chris's blood.
Chris Redfield, the original hero. Well, they were all the original heroes of the franchise, but you know, Jill and Chris were like the two original that you could play. And here we have our iconic zombie intro, which scared the shit out of me the first time I saw this. That turnaround, oh man, that's the most that's like the most infamous zombie scene I think in video game history. It's like that first zombie where you don't know what to expect, and then you turn that corner and
Barry?
You're introduced to the world of zombies of Resident Evil. It's like, yo,
What is it?
terrifying, chilling fashion.
Watch out! It's a monster!
Let me take care of this.
I mean, obviously, by today's standards, the game graphics and the gore and everything is a little bit tame compared to, like, the things we see now, including the remakes of these games. But
Kenneth was killed too.
at the time,
Maybe
it was,
by this
it was
creature.
revolutionary. And it still
Anyway,
is revolutionary
Let's report this to Wesker.
for what it did to the gaming genre. I mean, this revolutionized survival horror as we know it. This is, you know, I know Alone in the Dark did it first, but Resident Evil pretty much set the standard for everything that came after in horror and survival horror. Camera angles, the control scheme,
Wesker!
the puzzle.
Help me look for him, Jill. And don't leave this hall for the time being.
Like the puzzle solving, the environments, the layout of the environments, the fact that the environments themselves were like a puzzle. It really, and figuring out how to like progress in an open space, and that was unlinear, and you had to go back and forth to find your way to new areas. It's brilliant.
Find anything, Jill?
Nothing. What is this all about? I can't figure it out at all.
Beats me, too.
Now it's Wesker's time to disappear. I don't know what's going on.
Well, it can't be helped. Let's search for him separately. I'll check the dining room again.
Okay, I'll try the door on the opposite side.
This mansion is gigantic. We could get into trouble if we get lost. We should start from the first floor, okay? And Jill, here's a lockpick. It might be handy if you, the master of unlocking, take it with you.
The master of unlocking. Oh man, that original's
Thanks.
original.
Maybe I'll need it.
Listen, if something happens, let's meet up in this hall. This time, I'll be there.
This time I'll be there. So there we go. So this is where the main part of the walkthrough begins for Jill's campaign, I guess you could say. So she leaves Barry and she goes on to explore the mansion herself in a different direction, because of course, what do they do in horror movies? They split up, thinking they can cover more ground, but then it's like, dude, it is the worst idea. Nah. But jokes aside, you know, this is the whole trope of splitting up is like a very big horror cliche, and it was so perfectly used here. I mean, it also makes sense. I mean, for you to play this character, it's going to be hard to animate another character on screen the whole time, like following you around. And plus, you know, Wesker disappeared on purpose because he's the villain. Spoiler alert. And the classic dogs jumping to the window jump scare. Oh man. They play with your expectations in the remake. Which the remake, by the way, is like still in my opinion the greatest gaming remake ever made. Sorry Final Fantasy VII, sorry Resident Evil 2, which was amazing as well. But oh, gotta escape that zombie. Yeah, but Resident Evil Remake is the greatest remake of all time. But it really plays with your expectations. As opposed to the dogs coming through the window. At that moment, when you first go through the hallway, they break the glass slightly and then come through the window on your second trip back through the hall. Which is great. It's just such a great way of twisting expectations, and that's the great thing the remake did. It took certain moments that were iconic from the original and twisted them on their head, but in a great way that still felt faithful to the original. And they added new areas. I'll definitely do that remake a different day. So yeah, as you can tell, I'm way more familiar with this game than I was with Resident Evil 0. I played this game a lot back in the day, and the remake probably even more. The zombies. Oh man. Ah. It just sounds so weird. Hey Steve-O. Well, yes, well everybody, I'm doing good. Hope everybody else is doing great tonight. I appreciate you guys being here, you know, it means the world to me. You know, we're gaming for a good cause today. Well, we have been. Since, for a while, for at least a week now. But, I like how the original document that describes the medical herbs to you is so freaking cool. Botany book. And they're still alive. No, I'm out of bullets. Yeah, so one of the things about the classic rules of survival horror is watch your ammunition, because ammunition is sparse, and it's part of the game making things a puzzle. So you have to determine whether or not this is the right time to use a certain herb, or let's say a certain amount of ammunition, or to try to dodge the enemies, or you know, try to try to find a strategic way to get around the enemies instead of always gunning them down, because unfortunately you're not always going to have the amount of ammunition you need to take care of all the enemies in the game. There's actually less ammunition than there is than you would think, or that would be necessary to take down all the enemies. It's not even possible. Unless on the really easy difficulties, but even then I think it's not possible. It's not possible to take all the enemies down. Oh, I can't decide what you want for dinner. Oh, I've been there. I couldn't decide earlier, and I just ended up getting McDonald's just for a quick meal. Silly me, but it was good. You know, trying to eat a little better, but I'll get a first-hand look at the zombie right there. Gross. The zombies took a good amount of health when they got you. So, Resident Evil's classic mansion was a labyrinth of that was in of itself this brilliant puzzle that opened up slowly as you found keys to new areas, and it's just so brilliantly designed.
Barry!
Jill, what's going on?
She found Barry pretty
Any
quickly.
clues?
No, but something's wrong with this house.
Whoa, this hall is dangerous. Maybe it's better to secure our escape route first. There must be a back door somewhere. Let's try to find it first, shall we?
Okay, let's separate again.
Just a moment. I found something.
What is it?
It's a weapon. It's really powerful, especially against living things. Better take it with you.
But how about you, Barry?
I have this.
Thank you. I'll take this then.
Oh man, you can't make this dialogue up. Apparently there was a rumor that they had a Japanese dialogue track, but it was so bad that they decided to just use the English track because the English one was the better one. Can you imagine how bad that Japanese track must have been for them to use the English one instead as the default for all countries? But yeah, oh, it's just, I love it. The dialogue is so brilliant. It's so badly brilliant. But yeah, so she finds Barry and he gives her grenade rounds. You don't have the grenade launcher just yet, you get it later on. But it's handy. I mean, Jill gets the grenade launcher, whereas Chris gets the flamethrower. But I'm sorry, the grenade launcher was way more useful in my opinion. You know, Jill's campaign is considered the easier campaign. Oof, nice. Oh, yeah. So this is the, like, I think the west wing of the mansion. So we leave Barry and we're trying to get to the other side of the mansion to figure out, like, a way to get out and escape. But it takes a while because we have to find new keys that open up different areas of the mansion. There's one thing I remember is bringing the, what is it called? Bringing this, chemical, as they call it, to the plant room where you then kill the mutant plants and are able to get any objects beyond that, including a very valuable key. I think that's the sword key, if I'm not mistaken. The sword key gets us that much deeper into the mansion, which is great. Oh, one of the best things you could do is mix red herb with green herb. It's a full health heal, equivalent to the likes of the F8 spray. So yeah, you definitely want to, if anyone here is gonna play these games or has played these games, you already know. Red herb plus green herb equals essentially an F8 spray. Oops. One thing that was cool is that you could check out the items in your menu. So that's pretty dope. Yes. I will happily take the mansion key. Thank you. Thank you very much, cause yeah. We's trying to get the heck out of here. I'm pretty sure it's the sword key, but I'm curious because usually the silver key is the armor key usually. Oh, it is the armor key. Okay. Wow. Okay, I found the armor key before the sword key. That's interesting. Unless that's what happens in the original, because I'm used to playing the remake. I played the original a lot, but back in the day. The remake, you find the sword key first. Oh, so this is one of the most infamous rooms in Resident Evil history. The most infamous parts and scenes in Resident Evil history. The Keeper's room. So, the Keeper's diary is considered, and I remember reading it for the first time, one of the most terrifying documents in that you could ever find in Resident Evil. Oops. And I think that was the Keeper himself. So here we go, Keeper's Diary. This is chilling. So May 9th, 1998. At night, we played poker with. So May 9th, 1998. At night we played poker with Scott the guard. So May 9th, 1998. At night we played poker with Scott the guard, Alias, and Steve the researcher. Steve was really lucky, but I think he was cheating. What a scumbag. May 10th, 1998. Today marks a high-ranking researcher asked me to take care of a new monster. It looks like a gorilla without any skin. They told me to feed them live food. When I threw it in a pig, they were playing with it, tearing off the pig's legs and pulling out the guts before they actually ate it. And May 11th, 1998. Around 5 o'clock this morning, Scott came in and woke me up suddenly. He was wearing a protection suit that looks like a spacesuit. He told me to put one on as well. I heard there was an incident in the basement lab. No wonder those researchers never rest, even at night. May 12th, 1998. I've been wearing this annoying spacesuit since yesterday. My skin grows musty and feels very itchy. By way of revenge, I didn't feed those dogs today. Now I feel better. May 13th, 1998. I went to the medical room because my back is all swollen and feels itchy. They put a big bandage on my back and the doctor told me I did not need to wear the spacesuit anymore. I guess I can sleep well tonight. May 14th, 1998. When I woke up this morning, I found another blister on my foot. It was annoying and I ended up dragging my foot as I went to the dog's pen. They had been quiet since this morning, which is very unusual. I found that some of them had escaped. I'll be in real trouble if the higher-ups find out. Even though I didn't feel well, I decided to go see Nancy. It was my first day off in a long time. But I was stopped by the guard on the way out. They say the company has ordered that no one leave the grounds. I can't even make a phone call. What kind of a joke is this? May 16, 1998. I heard a researcher who tried to escape from this mansion was shot last night. My entire body feels burning and itchy at night. When I was scratching the swelling on my arm, a lump of rotten flesh dropped off. What the hell is happening to me? May 19th, 1998. Fever gone but itchy. Hungry and eat doggy food. Itchy Scott came. Ugly face, so killed him. Tasty. 4. Itchy, tasty. 3. Yep, and that's the Keeper's Diary. Oh, it's a terrifying piece of writing that you find in the mansion that details someone's transformation into a zombie. It's terrifying. And it's in a matter of days too, which is terrifying. And that line "itchy tasty" became so iconic. They even used it in the recent movie adaptation as like it was more like an homage or Easter egg, as opposed to like a legitimate part of the Keeper's Diary story being adapted. So yeah, freaking. Yeah, it was terrifying. But yep, so Jill proceeds into the rest of the mansion. And see, could I get through here with the armor key? Yes! Okay. Oh, thank goodness, another clip. Believe me, it looks like I have a lot of ammo, but trust me, it's very helpful to have it. Oh, that zombie looks so creepy the way he's crawling on the floor. Dang, I can't carry any objects right now. I should go to the item box and drop some stuff off. It's so creepy. He's not even making any noise. So, useful area, but don't have the means to get through to the next section of it yet. I think this is where we find Richard.
Richard! What happened?
Oh, Jill, this house is dangerous. There are terrible demons. Ouch!
You're wounded. What kind of demon attacked you?
It was a huge snake, and also poisonous. Ugh.
Poisonous? Oh no. Richard, hold on.
There is serum. Oh no, I should have brought some with me.
No problem. I'll go and get it.
Thanks.
So it tells you where to go. Interesting twist. So in the Chris campaign, Chris gets bitten and Rebecca has to go and get the serum form. It's just such a great twist. And you get to play as Rebecca for like a good like 10-15 minutes. It's so awesome. So I think in the original, no matter how quickly you get the serum, Richard unfortunately succumbs to his injuries and dies. In the remake, he survives, but then gets killed by the snake when you go to face him off, because he decides to try to help you, but unfortunately gets eaten by the snake, which is terrible. Yeah, poor Richard, man. He really just... He just didn't want to be poisoned anymore. Put the knife away. I honestly never use a knife. I know that's bad. Like, a knife is very handy. To dodge the zombie. Alright, so we're going back to Richard, give him the serum. Poor Richard.
Here's the serum. Richard, hold on. I'll give you a shot now.
Jill, here's my radio. You should keep it.
No! Richard!
Jill, be careful.
Yeah, poor Richard succumbs to his illness. I had a feeling because I remember in the original he gets killed. He dies no matter what, like if you get the serum or not. But in the remake, he lives actually, and but then gets killed by the snake. By the snake, poor guy. I think there's a zombie in there. I don't know. In the remake there was. So, you need the lighter to see what's going on in this room. I remember now. If I'm not mistaken, that's a more ink ribbon. Yeah, I definitely need to use an herb because poor Jill. Oh. Shield. The shield key gets you into the room with Jan. So I actually reached our 31 minutes, so we're gonna finish Resident Evil 1 now and go on to Resident Evil 2. But yeah, oh man, that was the original classic, so good. And then Resident Evil 2 is iconic sequel. Oh my god, I can't wait to get into this one. I remember ignore the slow GameCube logo. Some of these games don't load up 100% with the intro BIOS. I mean, not that 100%, they don't load, like, completely correctly with the BIOS. Alright, Resident Evil 2, honestly, is one of my favorites. And a brilliant sequel. This is, of course, the original Resident Evil 2, not the remake. But the remake was pretty brilliant, too. Stood very true to the original, even though it changed to an over-the-shoulder perspective. Of course, we're going to start with Claire, because I love Claire. I love the female heroines of Resident Evil. They're all such badasses.
Resident Evil 2.
Of course, to start with the most terrifying scene from RE1.
Suburb called Raccoon City.
Hey Tina, welcome back.
It was later revealed that the terrible disaster had
We're up to Resident Evil 2 now.
Virus, a mutagenic toxin created by the international enterprise Umbrella Incorporated for use in bioweapon experiments.
This is our third game of the evening.
The Police Department's Special Stars Unit immediately began investigation in the affair. The case was apparently closed, thanks to the efforts of STARS members Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine.
Woo!
But the
Our heroes
Umbrella Corporation's experiments
won the battle, but the war was still to be fought. So this is an iconic game because it takes us out of the mansion setting and into the city, into Raccoon City itself, and we get to see Raccoon City. It's like the actual city for the first time, and this is when the outbreak is just beginning. Well, not so much just beginning. It's already been 24 hours since the main outbreak began. Because funny fact was,
finally here.
So Resident Evil 3 takes place 24 hours. The first part of Resident Evil 2. Sorry, the first part of Resident Evil 3 takes place 24 hours before Resident Evil 2. But Resident Evil 2 then... Resident Evil 3 then jumps ahead in time to after Resident Evil 2 finishes. So Resident Evil 2 sort of takes place between the beginning and end of Resident Evil 3, which is interesting.
Hello? Is anyone here?
And we're introduced to our hero, Claire Redfield, iconic heroine of the franchise, and Chris Redfield's sister.
Hello?
Oh
no. Look, I'm sorry I bothered you, okay? Just don't come any closer. Are you listening?
Poor woman, like, sees a zombie for the first time. It's like, what the heck? How do you react to that, you know?
Wait! Don't shoot!
Get down! We can't stay out here. Head to the police station. It'll be a lot safer.
And Leon and Claire meet for the first time. And two classic RE heroines.
There!
And their iconic friendship begins.
Buckle up.
Okay. What's going on? I arrived in town, and the whole place went insane.
The radio's out.
You're a cop, right?
Yeah.
So fun fact, the voice of Claire Redfield is the same person who played Luna the Clown.
Mine's Claire. Claire Redfield. I came to find my brother Chris.
Hey, could you open the glove box?
Sure. There's a gun inside.
Better take it with you.
Didn't you watch horror movies, guys? Always check the back seat. Yeah, that zombie got messed up.
You okay?
Still in one piece.
Oh.
Hey, that maniac's gonna win!
It's because this is a zombie already, dude.
Head to the station. I'll meet you there.
Okay.
They were parted by an unescapable destiny. This is just the beginning of their worst nightmare. Alright, now we took control of Claire. And the game begins. Oh man. That intro cutscene is so like freaking awesome. It really sets like everything up. Everything just right out of the gate, just that freaking action, just pa pa pa, like it's like freaking epic.
Freeze! Who are you? What are you doing here?
Don't shoot! I'm a human.
Ooh. Sorry about that, babe. I thought you were one of them.
And this is Kendo, if I'm not mistaken.
Going on
Kendo,
in
the
this town?
iconic owner of the Kendo gun shop. They really expanded on his story a lot in the remake.
By the time I noticed something was wrong, the entire city was infested with zombies.
Poor Kendo, man, just gets totally murdered. Torn apart by zombies. Ah, poor guy. So this trip to the police station is so awesome because you get to see so much of Raccoon City, the alleys, the parks, the roads, and it's just such a, you could tell it reminds you a lot of it reminds you of a lot of cities out there, a little New York, a little this, a little that, a little Chicago maybe. I've never been to Chicago, so I can't tell, but do want to visit it one day though. Take a little road trip out there, you know, it'd be pretty epic. Yeah. Raccoon City, yeah. Raccoon City is iconic. Till this day, it's the most beloved Resident Evil location, hands down. It's where it all began, and it was where a lot of Resident Evil's personality was developed, you know, I mean, getting to roam the streets of Raccoon City to make it to the police station was so dope, man. 'Cause, I mean, it gives you this very zombie movie-like zombie outbreak. Like if you are the hero in the zombie movie, like trying to get through the city that's riddled with zombies. And it's like you're playing the zombie movie, which was so awesome about this intro to Resident Evil 2. Oh no! Shit, I just kicked her head off. Nice, got him down. Poor Claire, she's already hurt. Oh no, more zombies! Ah! Nice, got around them. It gets much easier to dodge zombies in Resident Evil 2 and 3. Resident Evil 2 and 3 gets so much easier to dodge the zombies, it really does. There is a cool Easter egg. I forgot how to activate it, but if you I think if you don't take a certain amount of damage and make it to this point, a little underpass to get to the police station's front doors, you see Brad Vickers as a zombie, who was a STARS agent. He's the infamous STARS agent who leaves them stranded in the forest and takes the freaking helicopter in the intro cutscene of Resident Evil. So yeah, he was kind of a dick, but he you know, he gets killed in Resident Evil 3, spoiler alert, by Nemesis. He's the first person you see Nemesis kill. Damn, 90 handgun bullets. I mean, I'm not hating it. I mean, honestly. And yes, we made it to the iconic police station, by the way. Oh, this freaking police station. I mean, a lot of people consider it even more, like, brilliantly designed than the mansion. In a lot of ways, it might improve upon the mansion in a lot of ways, but the mansion was just such an iconic setting. It was just the aesthetic and the look and design was just so classic, and it was where it all began. So it was where it all began.
Are you the only officer left in the building?
Oh, Marvin.
Who are you?
Claire Redfield. I'm looking for my brother Chris.
We lost contact with him over 10 days ago.
Mm.
Chris, Jill, Barry.
All the heroes from the
STARS
original.
team member has disappeared. We should have listened to them.
What happened?
About 2 months ago, there was this incident involving these zombie-like creatures in a mansion located in the outskirts of this city. Chris and the other STARS members discovered that Umbrella was behind everything, at the risk of their own lives. But no one believed them.
Isn't that shameful, man? These poor heroes who made it out alive got deemed as sensationalists
in the other room
and liars when they were just trying to help everybody.
Take this key card. You should be able to unlock the doors in the hall with this.
Now go.
But...
Just go.
Okay. Just hang in there. I'll be back soon.
Indeed, the poor Claire. She wanted to help him so badly, but he knew that he was going to turn into a zombie eventually, so he asked her to leave. He even locks the door, to prevent him from potentially getting her once he turns. Ah, poor Marvin. They really did expand upon him and gave him such an even more like awesome personality in the remake. And the game is so great. I'm definitely gonna stream the remake of Part 2 eventually one day. For this October stream. For this October 31 Days of Horror streaming, I definitely want to do Resident Evil 2 remake as well. Oops. Let's see. Oh yeah, that helps you get a code to one of the safes, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, the liquor, one of the most, if not the most iconic creature from Resident Evil, aside from Nemesis, was just Tease. That's the infamous liquor Tease. Right before you see him in this terrifying cutscene. This scared the shit out of me too when I first played it. Freaking liquors, man. They're really a force to be reckoned with. They will mess you up if you're not ready for them. Oh, I gotta love that classic police station music. That soundtrack on Resident Evil 2 and 3 is just, chef's kiss. Really just adds so much to the atmosphere. Oh, dang. I was hoping to get around all of them, but didn't. No! No! What the hell? 3 for 3. Am I in danger? No, thankfully I'm not in danger just yet. I keep thinking start is the menu after playing freaking Resident Evil 1. Because start is the menu in Resident Evil 1. As opposed to Resident Evil 2 and 3 where it's like the circle button. Nice, okay. Got her healed. I feel bad for poor Claire, man. I did not protect her enough. More ink ribbon. I love how the lockpick, like in Resident Evil 1, is its own separate item slot when you play as Claire. I think it is for Leon too, but I'm not 100% sure. I think that's the locker where you can change outfits eventually. Once you find like the closet key. I think you have to beat the game once though for you to get that. So this is the STARS office. This is where all of our beloved heroes from Part 1 used to gather and prepare for missions. This is probably right where they gathered before the infamous mansion incident in the first game. Good chance he's your boyfriend. But which desk is it? I think that's Jill's desk, if I'm not mistaken. Ah, Chris's diary. This is him explaining that nobody believes them, and that unfortunately he is gonna go to Europe to tackle Umbrella himself. Poor Chris, man. He's such a badass. Just like his partner Jill. Oh, grenade launcher. Yes! It's amazing how fast you get that weapon in this game. But trust me, when you face those lickers, you will need it. That's interesting. So it's implied that Jill had a boyfriend. And it wasn't Chris. Well, you could tell that Chris and Jill are not dating in part 1, but there was always fan theories of like romantic feelings between them on the down low. But if anything, she had, especially in the remake, Jill has much more of a romantic kind of sexual tension with Carlos, if anything. Because he hits on her constantly, but in the remake it's dialed back to more acceptable levels. In the original, it's very like, ouch. Well, to an extent. I mean, it's silly when you hear it now, like when you hear the dialogue, but yeah. Now, just like the mansion, there's different keys that you have to find in order to open up different areas of the police station. However, they're patterned after suits in card games. Spades, diamonds. Very cool. I think this is a puzzle, yeah. Where I have to get these statues onto the appropriate platforms that they're supposed to go on. I think the bronze statue is supposed to go to the bronze statue is supposed to go to the right side. Yep. And this statue is supposed to go to the other side. We got the red jewel. That's gonna come in handy later on. There's a similar jewel that you use in Resident Evil 1 to like put on the tiger's head. So there's a statue of a tiger's head, and then you find these two jewels that you put in the tiger's eyes. This where the eyes are in the tiger statue is empty holes. So the hands going through the wall. It's an iconic jump scare. Oh man, that's so dope. It was like a big homage to like classic horror films like Dawn of the Dead. Classic zombie films, that is. Yeah, the fireplace where you have to sacrifice to the hellfire. That sounds terrifying. That painting is also really disturbing. I kept trying to get out of there, and I was like, wait, how do I like... See, I wasn't expecting that one. That one kind of shocked me. Like, it not shocked me, but it freaked me out a little bit. Oh, the liquor! It's still there. Not for funsies, let's grenade launcher it. Wait, if I'm not mistaken, the auto aim is off. Okay, good. I mean, good that I was able to turn it back to freaking automatic. Wow, still didn't kill him. Still didn't kill him. That's how strong the freaking liquors are, man. 3 hits and he still didn't go down. I mean, 2 hits and he didn't go down. The third one got him. Nice, F8 spray. I'm gonna need to use that. Well, actually, I might use the herb instead. One thing you have to be very careful with in Resident Evil is that you can accidentally use health items when your health is 100%. Yeah, definitely don't want a grenade launcher these zombies because it's wasting valuable ammunition. Damn, mad zombies. There's so many zombies in this police station. The ambient noises are terrifying. Dang, I can't even get through there. Keep clicking the start button. Oh, mail to Chris. 2236. I think that's the combination to the lock there. The safe, I mean. Yep, it is. Grenade rounds. It's fucking... Ah, but I can't carry them. Nice, I got the police station map, though. Probably shouldn't have come into this corner, but let's shoot them. Wow. It's like, nah, bro. You ain't effing with me. All those freaking zombies. The good thing is you can push them in crowd fashion now, which is great. Dang it. Dang it. I think she might be in danger now. Yeah. Time to use the spray. This game is very challenging at first, but it's so satisfying once you get the handle of it. Red herbs are very useful, as we discussed in Resident Evil 1. This freaking PlayStation is humongous. Magic mirror. Is this the... Oh no, it's not the liquor breaking out of the mirror scene. That happens later. So, there are some iconic jump scares in Resident Evil history, and the liquor bursting through the one-way mirror of the interrogation hall is one of the most iconic. Crazy how many zombies are here. I'm not gonna be crazy. Oops. The map. It's just overkill, but I mean, there's too many zombies, man. We're back in the main area. Hoping to find some semblance of where to go. Not kidding. Poor Marvin already locked himself in, so I can't get back to there. I haven't found any keys yet. There has to be a place to put that jewel. I think the jewel will get us to our first key. And the lighter will be a big help too. We're nearing the end of our Resident Evil 2 stream. We got about another minute left. So I'm just going to leave it pretty much here. Oh, I'm going to combine those red and green herbs. I'm going to play botanist. I like how I asked you before you want to mix herbs, but it has no problem letting you use F8 spray if you're on a complete fine. It's so fucking hilarious. Alright guys, well we made it to the end of the Resident Evil 2 stream, so now we're gonna go on to Resident Evil 3, which was the first one I ever played, and it was so epic. I know a lot of people say it's a little more action than survival horror, but it still had a lot of survival horror elements in it, believe me. Alright, fourth game of the evening, and it's Resident Evil 3. After this is Code Veronica. Oh yeah. Well, it's because the memory card's full, but it's no big deal, because we're not going to save during this run. I know this game so well that I could potentially, like, I could probably do a speedrun video of it. Although, with the infinite ammo weaponry. No, I'm kidding. Yes, I know it's cheating, okay? Just give me a break. No, I'm kidding. Actually, wait. Not load game. I wanna. Where do I want to load game? Let's do a game from scratch. Be classical. So hard mode is the only way you can unlock like special weapons that you get from downing Nemesis at certain points.
Day in September. An ordinary day in Raccoon
Ah,
City.
this is the most iconic portrayal of Jill, in my opinion.
No one dared to oppose them, and that lack of strength would ultimately lead to their destruction. I suppose they had to suffer the consequences of their actions, but there would be no forgiveness. If only they had had the courage to fight. It's true that once the wheels of justice begin to turn, nothing can stop them. Nothing. It was Raccoon City's last chance, and my last chance. My last escape.
So this shows like the height of the outbreak in Raccoon City. Terrifying zombie apocalypse scenes.
What are they?
They recreated this really well in Resident Evil Apocalypse, I'm not gonna lie. Say what you will about that movie, but the zombie outbreak scenes were paid such great homage to Resident Evil 3. And here come the mercenary team, hired by Umbrella to contain the outbreak, where they think they're saving the citizens, and yes, they are, but their main objective for Umbrella is to contain the outbreak. This intro makes the zombies seem terrifying because they're so overwhelming in their numbers that they were able to overtake the mercenaries and the general public. The iconic words of Jill. Farewell to my life, farewell to my home. This is my last survival, my last escape. Last chance for survival, I mean. So she escapes her apartment, but there's like an explosion, and then she has to get away. I think RE3 still might be my favorite of the original classic series. I mean, Resident Evil 1 Remake is my favorite of the original style Resident Evils, you know, but Resident Evil 3 is it's iconic. I'm sorry to say this, but it's better than its remake. The remake was awesome, don't get me wrong, but it was it was much more of a reimagining than a remake. And the original 3 story is amazing.
Daylight. The monsters have overtaken the city.
On September 28th, the Resident Evil Facebook posts like that quote. It's so awesome.
I'm still alive.
What I love about this game is it allowed Jill to really shine. This was her moment to shine after the mansion incident.
Okay, we've got to get out.
And it really developed her personality so much more.
What do you think you're talking about?
She became like an iconic hero after this. You sure?
How dare you tell me to go back outside?
I'm sorry about your daughter, but there isn't gonna be any rescue. We have to get out of here.
No! I'm not going anywhere. I'd rather starve to death in here than be eaten by one of those undead monsters! Now leave me alone!
Dario. Infamous Dario. He's one of the more infamous supporting characters. Because he doesn't want to escape with Jill. His daughter was killed. And he just...
Told you! I'm not leaving! Never!
So Resident Evil 3 allowed you to be able to go up the stairs just by using the run button and moving around, as opposed to having to click the action button to move up and down stairs, which was pretty great. It definitely was a step forward for the game series in terms of its evolution, as well as other aspects of this game really helped push the series forward as well. And you see the 180 turn as well is another iconic thing. The ability to turn around completely quickly, which was very helpful, especially during the Nemesis encounters. Let me leave the first aid spray. Actually, I'm not going to need that right now. Yeah, this is the Resident Evil game I'm most familiar with. I've played this game countless times, the most of any Resident Evil ever, even more than the Resident Evil 1 remake, which I was obsessed with for a very long time. This is still my favorite Resident Evil to go through for just a fun little playthrough of a Resident Evil game. And oh man, it's just timeless. It's timeless is what it is. So my brother got this game as a gift for, I think it was Christmas or something, way back in 1999. Or I think it was the year 2000 actually at that point. And he played through it first and I watched him play through it. I used to watch my brother play through a lot of games. Like Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. We literally sat together and I watched him play through that whole game. And then there's Resident Evil 3, pretty much the same thing. And we were so invested in the stories. I mean, same thing with Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I mean, even my mom and people who, you know, it was such a beautiful time in gaming history because we were so marveled at the, we would marvel at the technology and the storytelling capabilities that we literally sat down and experienced the story together like it was a series. I miss that. That's been lost, I feel. I mean, we sort of got that back with streaming, and people watching people stream and everything like that. But, you know, there's nothing like that classic kind of sit down watching someone play a single player game because you're so enamored and immersed in that game's story. And yes, I know Jill's getting impatient, but yeah, I just wanted to say that. Just some of the happiest memories of my life, honestly. Some of the happiest memories of my life. I really treasure those memories. Yeah, these crowd of zombies comes through here, and then, oh no. Oh, so fun fact also about this game that I didn't realize until I started watching a particular Hallmark show. I confess it's a guilty pleasure of mine. Okay, I should have probably kept the first aid spray because I'm getting my ass kicked. She's in danger. I'm definitely gonna have to use the freaking shotgun to get out of here. That's literally why I came down here, and yet I'm gonna have to use it to survive. Sons of... For some reason, the GameCube version of these games, the auto aim is turned off. I don't understand why the heck they would do that. Got him. So if you aim upward with the shotgun, it creates a decapitation of the zombies. Oh, thankfully I could get out of here. Yeah, when the characters in Resident Evil 2 and on, or in the classic series at least, when the characters are on danger level, which is the worst, can't survive a single hit after being on danger level, they start to stagger. And once they reach caution, they hold their belly. But once they hit danger level, they start to stagger, and it's harder to get away from things. Okay, so that guy screaming in the background, oh my god, I remember when we first heard that, we thought we could save him, but you can't. Why did I walk right into them? That's silly of me. That's where we encounter Brad. The first time since he... So, funny story about Brad Vickers, right? So, he leaves the STARS team for dead, quote-unquote, in the beginning of Resident Evil 1, but then he saves them at the end of Resident Evil 1. He's their helicopter ride out of that mansion complex. And well, more so wasn't the mansion at that point at the end of the game. It was... You could actually just leave that Brad to finish. You could actually just let Brad finish that zombie and save ammo, but it felt like helping him out. It actually ends up finishing him off on his own if you don't do anything.
Why isn't someone doing something about this?
I didn't know you were still alive, Jill. The police aren't trained for this kind of situation. What could they do? Listen, he's coming for us. We're both gonna die.
The eerie warning about the nemesis.
You'll see.
Creepy.
He's after STARS members. There's no escape.
So, what he's describing is Nemesis. So, Nemesis was a bioweapon developed by Umbrella to help tie up loose ends and kill the remaining witnesses of the mansion incident, aka all STARS members, which is exactly why he says STARS, you know? Oh, foreshadowing, you're gonna eventually go to that clock tower. Only in the original, not in the remake. In the remake, it's just a boss battle with Nemesis, but in the original, it's a whole section of the game. It's an iconic location. Yeah, I feel bad for Brad Vickers, honestly. I mean, fine, seemed like he kind of left them for dead in the beginning of the first game, but he pulls through at the end. He comes back and saves them by airlifting them out of the freaking, out of the whatever that lab facility was, the helipad that's at the lab that you're at the end of the first game. Yes, there's herbs up here. I knew it. I was like, dude, I need that healing right now. I can't. I can't just play it close to the chest there. Okay, we're back in fine mode. These guys are probably still there, right? Can I down? Nah, never mind. Whoa. Crowd of zombies. Good. That dodge mechanic, by the way, it's useful, but it's a little bit unreliable in this game. That was another innovation they made in this game, was the dodge mechanic, and it helps during the fights with Nemesis especially. But it's the same, it's essentially activated with the same button that you use to ready your weapon. So it's a little bit unreliable at times, and could be a bit tricky to activate. But it does kind of randomly help you at moments like that, where it really helped. It helped me get rid of those zombies, or get them off me, rather. I am. So, yeah, so this rope is soaked in oil. You have to use the lighter to light it on fire. And so, this section here, so you're able to aim at flammable objects with the left trigger button, or L2 rather, and wait for them to get close to it, and then you're able to kill a bunch of them at once, which is very handy, so you can get out of that tricky situation. Now, there is a red herb back there, and as we discovered with Resident Evils 1 and 2, red herbs are very, very freaking valuable, so I'm definitely going to pick them up. Yeah, so instead of how in Resident Evil 2 the zombies would lunge at your feet, which was very annoying, they instead have a different mechanic that makes them challenging in a different way. They have this speed up that they can activate, or they can like use at times, where they start running a little bit more quickly towards you. Kind of predicted Dawn of the Dead there. Nah. No, but it's not like that kind of run. It's just a faster stagger. don't know how those freaking dogs were able to get through that fire, but yeah, that's our first encounter with zombie dogs again since the mansion. They definitely come out in Resident Evil 2, we just didn't get that far. Whoa, freaky. Looks like my internet's acting up again, so I'm gonna use... hello, Blanca. Thanks for being here. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I had to, use my lamp instead because my lights were acting up. I have these hue lights, you know, the ones that you can control with your phone and have colors and stuff. I was gonna use the colors one day on the stream, like do like a cool kind of red or something, but they're acting up right now, unfortunately. Yes, this is in fact Resident Evil 3. Thanks for joining us, Blanca. I appreciate you being here. And yes, this is definitely Resident Evil 3. My favorite Resident Evil of all time. I mean, this is the first one I ever played. I played it way back in 2000, or was it 1999? No, I think it was 2000. I think my brother got it as a gift in 2000, or I think he got it as a gift in Christmas of 99. So yeah, that's when we started playing. Let me leave some stuff behind. Gonna drop off. Actually, no, let me take some stuff just in case, because I am gonna be sort of fighting Nemesis until I decide to probably run into the police station. I don't think I have... Oh, actually, wait. I should have used some of that. Sorry, guys. I'm going to use some of that ammo to make ammunition. I'm going to use some of that gunpowder to make ammunition. So you can use the gunpowder tool. Oh, nice. That's so dope. Yeah, I really enjoyed the remake a lot. I actually loved it. You know, it's definitely much more of a reimagining, more so than a direct remake. A lot of the lines of Resident Evil 1 and 2 remake, where those stick more closely to the original story, as opposed to Resident Evil 3's remake, which is much more of a overhaul of the story. I mean, it follows the overall blueprint, but it takes a very different path than the original game does. Uh-oh. So, yeah. But still, I enjoyed it a lot. I loved it, but I love the original so much more. The original is my absolute favorite Resident Evil of all time, and it's the first one I ever played. I also played Resident Evil 3 before I saw Terminator 1 or 2. So when I saw Terminator when I was a little older, I always think of that kind of character that's persistent as a Nemesis character ever since this. If you were not expecting that, you were like, what? Oh, poor Brad, man. He gets it really bad in this game. Nemesis. So the most iconic villain in Resident Evil history. Sorry for all the Wesker fans out there. Yes, he's pretty great, but I mean, yes, he's iconic too, but I'm sorry, Nemesis is forever the most iconic enemy in Resident Evil history. Oh no! Yeah, so I did what I said I was gonna do. Fight him for 2 seconds and then go into the police station because I am terrified. So, okay, one thing that's really brilliant about this game is that Nemesis, and this was considered quite the innovation at the time, so Nemesis is able to follow you through rooms, whereas no other enemy was able to do that before. I mean, like Mr. X sort of does it in Resident Evil 2, but he sort of appears in front of you, and Nemesis will do that too at times, but Nemesis was different from Mr. X in the sense that, you know, he really was promoted and marketed as this persistent stalker that would follow you through the police station. And boy, he was a scary force to be reckoned with. I played this before. I played this before I played Resident Evil 2. So for me, Nemesis was my first Resident Evil persistent stalker. And he scared the living shiz out of me, man. Like, there's this music that plays when you... Because there's certain areas of the game where you encounter him. And... There's certain areas of the game where you encounter him. And, when he's near or when he's in the environment, you hear this music. That sort of warns you that he could be popping out at any moment. And believe me, it is freaky. It's this weird kind of ambient sound that and scary, like, kind of like warning, suspenseful melody. And it really just gives you the sense of uneasiness. So we're back at the police station, by the way, guys, from Resident Evil 2. If you were watching my stream earlier, you saw that this is the same place that we were in part 2. But apparently 24 hours before Claire even arrives. Which is funny because there's sections of the police station that are boarded up here. So the police station is a much shorter segment in Resident Evil... in Resident Evil 3. And that iconic music from Resident Evil 2's police station ambience makes a comeback. Kind of. I mean, you're able to escape him. You're able to run or fight him off. Okay, so there's certain sections of the game where... where Nemesis will be activated, essentially, as your persistent stalker. And, damn. I need that freaking STARS key card. I mean, that STARS, yeah, I need my STARS card to get the dang key. Oh, shit. But, I'm trying to... I should have gotten Brad's card outside. That would have helped a lot. Now I can't go back out there, though. Until, like, we're done with this section of the police station. Doesn't let you outside again, I think. See if I can get these guys 2 for 1. Okay, got him. So, yeah, so he'll come out, he'll be activated in these certain sections, and then he'll follow you through the rooms. And you have to either successfully escape him in each room, or finish him off in that activated section where he's activated, and then he'll stop persistently stalking you. And yeah. You know, that's a good question, actually. I think for me, my top 3, my personal, even though I know my favorite of all time is definitely the Resident Evil remake, but at the same time it's also Resident Evil 3, this one, so it's hard for me to decide which one I like more. But if I had to say number 1, probably Resident Evil 3, then Resident Evil remake, and then Resident Evil 2 remake. Or is Resident Evil 2 the original? I think Resident Evil 2 original, actually. Oh, wait, why am I going back here? Silly me. I'm supposed to go back to the computer in the main hall so that I could get the door unlocked or something that gives me access somewhere. So okay, so if I had to say top 3, it would be Resident Evil remake or Resident Evil 3. Let me just say Resident Evil 3, then Resident Evil remake, then Resident Evil 2. And then the lowest 3 for me is probably gonna be Resident Evil 6 as the 3rd worst, because I actually don't hate that one as much as everybody else. Resident Evil 5 after that, even though it's a good game, I just don't find myself going back to it very often. I definitely liked the game, but I feel like if I'm gonna rate the games, I'm gonna rate them by like which ones I'm probably playing the most and which ones I enjoyed the most. and find myself going back to the most of all of them. So Resident Evil 6 0131, okay. And Resident Evil's 5, and then Resident Evil, I think, I can't say Code Veronica because I didn't play Code Veronica, honestly. I played like a good portion of it, but I didn't beat it, so I haven't, I can't really rate that one. Yeah, that's pretty much that. But I mean, I definitely don't hate those 6, 5, and what was the other one I was gonna say? Shit, I think I just forgot the code. My memory's been shit lately. So yeah, I gotta go back to the main hall again. Yue. But yeah, I mean, I would say I like all the Resident Evil games. It's just I have my 3 favorite and 3 least favorites. And 0131. I thought I did that. Anyway, so yeah. But definitely Resident Evil 3 is always going to have a special place in my heart. And Resident Evil Remake as well. In fact, Resident Evil Remake, I think, is what I consider to be the best of the classic series. It's pretty much perfection. Resident Evil 3 is my personal favorite, and the one that I find myself going back to the most, but Resident Evil Remake is like freaking just so brilliantly designed, and it's just such a great evolution of the original game. 3, 1. Got it. Alright. So I got the key to the STARS office. So we're going to go in there, and then we're going to get either the grenade launcher or the Magnum. So the game randomly spawns one of those over the other, depending on what it decides. Well, I mean, depending on your run-through. Each run-through, it spawns a different one. What the... I was like, silly me. I was like, why am I twirling in that corner? Wow, I have 5 people watching. This is incredible. I don't think I've had this many people watching before. Thank you, guys. And, oh my god, for all of you that are here, I really appreciate it. This is Breast Cancer Walk Day, and we did a little bit of... We did, like, the walk yesterday instead in our local neighborhood. But I am definitely, you know, my mom is spearheading a breast cancer walk donations group, and the link is in the description to this video. If you could donate whatever you can, any amount is welcome. And it would just mean the world, you know, to us all. Thank you so much. You know, there's so many people out there that have been afflicted by breast cancer, so many lives lost by breast cancer, sadly, and so many family members who and loved ones for countless people that have been affected by breast cancer. So it would mean the world if we could just join in this fight together, and you know, just really... Oh, grenade launcher. Wow. Okay, grenade launcher instead of the Magnum. But you know what? I dig it because the grenade launcher is a handy weapon. It's actually your most useful weapon against Nemesis, especially freeze rounds. He's vulnerable to those above all else. My top 3 is 3, RE7, RE2 Remake. I mean, RE3 Remake, RE4. Okay, I respect it. I love RE4 too. As well, I mean, I love RE4 as well. My top 3 worst is Resident Evil Outbreak File 2. Understood. Resident Evil 5. And Resident Evil 6. Yeah, I can totally see that. I feel like a lot of people have 6 and 5 at their lowest. And it's not that they don't like them, it's just their least favorites. Like, you know, they will choose so many others before 5 and 6. And having your top is Resident Evil 7, I will say, freaking amazing. So amazing. You know, It's really what saved the freaking franchise. And the funny thing about that is when they released Resident Evil, uh-oh. You heard the glass crack? Okay, this is the music I was talking about. This music scares the shit out of you when you hear it, because you know that he's coming or that he's nearby. And so, and then not in ways you don't always expect. And I remember when my brother played this for the first time, and we knew, because I think he had a strategy guide, that he was going to come through the window, but it's one of the most iconic jump scares in Resident Evil history. And he has his rocket launcher. Oh, that's his iconic weapon, even though he's much more dangerous without it, because without it, he has the one-hit kill move he could do, where he picks her up and does that tentacle slash, or tentacle puncture into her head, which he went into her head, which he did to Brad Vickers in that first encounter. This is what I mean by he follows you, which I'm gonna show you right now. You hear that door close and you just like, oh, your heart sinks because you know he's near. Oh. But yeah, thank you for putting your favorites there, Blanca. That's so awesome. I mean, I love all Resident Evil games. I don't think I've ever really truly hated any of the Resident Evil games, except for probably some of like the spin-offs or something that were a little bit like kind of more rinky-dinky, like Resident Evil Survivor, which is much more kind of which is definitely a spin-off. A lot of people say that game is very badly made. I don't hate it. I mean, it's fun, but it's probably in terms of quality one of the worst made ones. Have I watched the movies for Resident Evil? Yes, as a matter of fact, I have. I've seen them all, except for some of the animated ones. I'm missing a few of those. But I've seen all the Milla Jovovich ones, Resident Evil, all the way through to Resident Evil Final Chapter. They're a bit of a guilty pleasure for me. I know they're technically not good movies, but it's just that some of those, I was a big fan of Resident Evil. Me and my cousin went to go watch every single one of them, I think, except for Apocalypse. Oh, those Dream demos. Like one of them, you just saw them go through the window there. Those are so freaky in the remake. They're so freaky in the remake, yeah. The true RE game is enjoyable, even the spin-offs. Yeah, I know, I agree. The spin-offs are great too. The only thing that I got frustrated a bit, I have to confess, by Resident Evil Revelations, the first one. I was so happy though that it brought back the classic survival horror feel, because it really did. It's just that unfortunately, sorry, just bear with me a moment, guys. I am checking something. Trying to see how long I've been on RE3, because I'm doing 31 minutes of each game on this list. And she just got bitten. That's why they have pause buttons. My bad. But yeah, every single Resident Evil is freaking awesome. It's rare that one will be terrible. Very rare, honestly. Even like the ones that are considered like more bad, I guess you could say, I still love. Okay, so I actually, yeah, we are at the end of Resident Evil 3 stream, so we're gonna go on to Code Veronica, and this is gonna be the last game for the night. So we played 0, 1, 2, 3, and then Code Veronica is our 5th game, so that's the one we're gonna end the night off with. And Code Veronica for me is a bit of a kind of a funny one. I almost got it for the PS2 back in the day, but I'm actually happy I didn't get that version, because supposedly there's like this ghosting effect on some of the characters that's like very distracting. I mean, you get over it, I guess, you get used to it, but yeah. But yeah, the GameCube port is considered like the best one, if I'm not mistaken. Or the Dreamcast version too. The original was on the Dreamcast, and then they ported it to other consoles. It does have a different introduction though for the Code Veronica X. The introduction on the the original Dreamcast version, and on the HD remakes that were done for PS3 and Xbox 360. I think match the original Dreamcast version's intro more, which leaves more mystery to the game as opposed to exposing Wesker. Because by the time X came out, which was when it was ported like a year or so after the original Dreamcast release, everybody knew that Wesker was in the game. It was meant to be a twist in the original game, in the original version of Code Veronica, but by the time Code Veronica X came out, a lot of people knew that Wesker was in the game.
Resident Evil.
But, live actions are types of movies to be dumb and unrealistic but fun to see. Yes, it's exactly what it is. It's meant to be... The Resident Evil movies are indeed the type of movies to be dumb and unrealistic but fun to see, because it's... they're so silly after, like, the first one. Like, the first one I have to say is... Oh, oops, I skipped the introduction. Hold on. I'm gonna see if I can go back to the intro, because the intro is actually pretty cool. Hold on. Let me go back. But yeah, no. So they're very silly and like technically dumb, but it's just they're so fun to watch sometimes. They're like a great. They're a great example of what you call popcorn flicks. Like they're not. You don't have to think a lot. You just go for the ride and you enjoy it. You know what some people accuse Marvel movies of being, but I actually think Marvel movies are a step above in terms of quality. A step above like the Resident Evil movies, for example. But in any event, going back to the discussion about Resident Evil movies, yeah. So Resident Evil movies. The Resident Evil live action films are definitely, they're definitely guilty pleasures. I mean, especially that first film was, even though it had silly moments, was very well made film in my opinion. After that, it just got silly, but so much fun to watch.
Due to the T-virus outbreak that was instigated by the International Corporation.
Yep. We're back to Claire now. Yo, it's so awesome that the early chapters in Resident Evil were just full of freaking female power. Like that awesome girl power. I mean, it's so dope that after Resident Evil 1 and 2, which gave you the option between the man and woman... Yes, 3 months. So this is 3 months after the destruction of Raccoon City that occurs at the end of Resident Evil 3, where Jill and Carlos escape. So after Resident Evil 1 and 2, where you had the option between the male and female character, they then gave entire mainline games, two mainline games, Resident Evil 3 and then Resident Evil Code Veronica, to the female heroines from those first two games.
Her name is Claire Redfield. We caught her trespassing in our Paris lab facility 10 days ago.
Just looking for Chris.
She infiltrated the complex looking for her lost brother, Chris Redfield, one of the surviving members of RPD's famous STARS teams.
So they pay tribute to this opening of Resident Evil Apocalypse. Alice does this exact same thing. That's so badass. I love it. What's my favorite video game series outside? I'm just outside of the RE series, right? Legend of Zelda, definitely. And they couldn't be more different. But definitely Legend of Zelda for sure. Without a doubt. So So they capture Claire and she's been now imprisoned. But something's clearly wrong on the island and things are not okay. Hence why she's able to escape. Well, also because she's Claire Redfield. She's a badass. Of course she's gonna escape. I mean, come on. Impressive CGI for the time, I'm not gonna say. No, I'm not gonna lie. No, he's not a zombie. You know, he's moving very slowly. Oh, no worries. Thank you for being here, Blanca. I appreciate it. This was great. That was a nice conversation we had, and hope to see you again sometime. Have a good night.
Perfect. Go on. Get out of here. This place is finished. I don't know, it might have been a special forces team. But in any case, this prison's been taken over. The troops have been wiped out.
What are you saying?
You're free to leave the complex. But you may as well know you have no chance of getting off this island.
And what about you? What are you going to do?
Don't worry about me.
I love that they brought back the original Claire voice actress for Resident Evil Code Veronica, because she was so brilliant and so iconic as Claire. And she, of course, as I mentioned earlier, was Lunette the freaking clown. I mean, come on, that's so freaking crazy that Lunette the clown, nostalgic part of my childhood, was also Claire Redfield, another nostalgic part of my childhood. And that's just something to make you smile when you think about those iconic nostalgic throwbacks. That they were like the same person. I mean, come on, that's so awesome. That noise of the heartbeat is so thrilling. Oh man, this part actually creeped me out of it, I'm not gonna lie, when I first played the game. This cutscene here was freaky. It looks so freaky because they're completely naked and they're just look so pale and like ghoul-like. They look almost like House of the Dead zombies, honestly. Wasn't supposed to go there. Dang it! Might as well crit the knife, it's better than nothing. But better to dodge, actually, so that I don't get bitten again. Ah, dang it. Yeah, I've been injured pretty bad at this point. Oh, what the f- Am I a zombie buffet right now? Like, what is this? I'm kidding. And Claire meets Steve.
Shoot! Who are you? Huh? You're not a zombie. Well, great.
Well, dude, you just told her not to shoot.
Coming over.
Clearly, zombies don't shoot, so you think she's a zombie that shoots? You kidding?
Sorry about that little misunderstanding. But
So I'm gonna be on this for another. Anyone watching? This is the last game of the stream for the night, so another about 25 minutes or so, probably, because I think I've been on this game for about
My name's
like
Steve.
7 minutes or so now.
I was a prisoner on this island. And I'm guessing you're not from Umbrella either.
No, I'm Claire. Claire Redfield.
Claire? Nice. I'll remember that.
He has the hots for her, it's so funny.
And once I find her, I can finally escape from this crazy island. I'll see ya.
Hey, wait up!
I don't want you following me, lady. You'll only slow me down.
Yeah, he's like kind of sexist. Yes, we got the handgun, thankfully. Oops. I accidentally closed the chat. It's funny how in Resident Evil 3 you were able to walk upstairs with no like without having to put the action button. But then they kind of introduced that again in this game where you have to press the action button. Oh, that's disturbing. Definitely not a good sign. That just spells that there's darker, bigger creatures. Darker, bigger creatures around the bend. This gun shoots fast, at least. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of ammo.
Please deposit any metallic items you have in the security box.
This is like a bit of a puzzle. For the game. If it detects that you have metallic items, it freaking wants you to deposit. It shuts all the like the shutters. It shuts all the doors and windows so that you can't proceed. But if you reactivate this switch and then actually leave all your metal items there, it will allow you to pass through, which is great. But it's sort of a puzzle because you have to figure out how do I get my weapons to the other side eventually, or like how do I manage without them. The 3D printer. Like, I remember my cousin did a Road to the Village Resident Evil marathon, where he played all through all the Resident Evil mainline games and a bunch of the spin-offs before Resident Evil Village came out. It was unbelievable. It took him months, but he managed to do it. And he said that was a 3D printer, and I was like, oh my god, it is a 3D printer.
What are you doing here?
Chris Redfield. Is he a relative of yours or something?
You mean my brother?
Ah, your siblings. Well, it seems your brother is under surveillance by Umbrella.
What?
He definitely is under surveillance by Umbrella because he is one of the badasses who took them down, or was going to take them down. Sorry about that, guys.
Got to contact Leon and tell him to let my brother know he's being monitored.
Nah, Leon! She gotta talk to Leon. That's such a great callback to Resident Evil 2.
From here.
Well, that file shows the latitude and longitude of this place. Why don't you send your brother the coordinates and ask him to come help?
Thanks. I'll do that.
Hey, I was just kidding. There's no way he could get here, even if he is your brother.
Yes, he can. I'm sure of it.
No way. He won't come. You'll just end up disappointed if you rely on others. Believe me, I know.
What was that all about?
She's like, that was kind of strange. And yeah, it was. My controller is being weird.
Please deposit any metallic items you have in the security box.
Crap. Okay, good. I'm able to use the stick. Okay, good. Looks like the problem got fixed. Hey, what else did I leave in there? I don't think I should leave all my stuff in there. I know it's kind of like the item box right now, but not really, because we actually find a legit item box in a bit. So...
Please deposit any metallic items you have in the security box.
Now, one ink ribbon? That's pretty wild. A lot of people say this game is a lot more challenging. And I believe it, honestly. I've experienced a bit of the challenge that this game presents, and it's a bit challenging for Resident Evil. Like, I mean, the Resident Evil games have been known for being challenging at times. I mean, a lot of the times. But, yeah, so this camera... Oh! I forgot that happens. What a good twist. Or what a good jump scare, rather. Dang, I need to get some healing items. Oh! Yeah, so good jump scares. Yes, dual pistols a la Lara Croft. So let's see. Yeah, she's still pretty injured though. Yeah, I feel bad. She's still pretty injured. Yeah, I was like, I used up more than half of that already, didn't I? Oh no, 81, surprise. But I don't think you get any more refill ammo for that. Ew. The fact that the food is like still warm, it's like, ew. No. It's like prison map. Alright, so this prison essentially acts as your mansion slash slash police station. Whereas in Resident Evil 3, you don't stay in the same place for very long. You're sort of like ongoing. I mean, that's you're sort of like ongoing switching locations, which you do in this game too. But there's certain areas where you stick around pretty for a while, like this one. Let's see, I found another... did I use it? Or did I throw an item away? Well, at least she's in a much better shape now. Let's see how long I've been on Code Veronica, because I might be getting to the end of my stream overall. Okay, like about 22 minutes in. Alright, so I have like another 10 minutes or so of the game. I appreciate anybody that's been sticking with throughout, you know, and thank you again to Blanca. I mean, that was so awesome. Yeah, it's cool. I always love conversing about Resident Evil. It's one of my favorite, it's one of my favorite gaming franchises ever. like how it's like, here's a blank wall. You would look right at it. But I think eventually you kind of demolish that wall or something. You dogs are so unfriendly. What's the deal? Yo! These guys are fast. There we go. Maybe not the best idea in the world, but yeah. Nice. Dang. I should have dropped that inside of the freaking... Oh. Where did I have a guillotine in this prison? Like, what the frick? What year is this prison from?
Please deposit any metallic items you have in the security box.
Rather, why don't I just deposit... No, this is not metal. Ah, I don't have an item box, dude. You know what? I'm gonna deposit the knife and that, yeah. I'll get the key. That was here? Yeah. Very helpful. I have to say, Veronica has a nice flow to it, though. It has a nice flow to it. I mean...
Please deposit any metallic items you have in the security box.
I definitely forgot something, like a silly person that I am. The lighter. Ah. Oh. That's what I have to make a copy of. I was wondering. There's more ink ribbon. Ah, that way I can use, it's not metal, and I could go ahead and take the non-metallic version through the detectors without issue. How do I do this again? Okay. Alright, do I need an ink or something? Let me see. Well, it is. Okay. Oh, I have to activate it from here, I think. Oh, nice. Flame rounds. Oh, never mind. Like, the computer's over there, silly. But how do I do it? I feel like there's something I have to press, but I don't know where.
Please deposit any metallic items you have in the security box.
Oh my god. I mean, oh my god, but... Wow, that was good. Poor thing, she got bitten. Freaking... There we go. Wait, I'm just going on a circle now.
Please deposit any metallic items you have in the security box.
Yeah, so I think I could use the fire extinguisher to put the fire out in the cemetery where like all those zombies attack, and hopefully, hopefully that gets us into a little more progress. I'm getting a little bit of familiar. I remember this part of the game, and hoping that hoping that'll make a little progress for the end of the video, a little more progress, that is. Oops. Sorry, Claire. There we go. Use the freaking Use the freaking fire extinguisher. Oh, okay. This is what I have to use to make a copy of that emblem. So, yeah, well, let's see if I could get back and make that copy before we end the stream. I just got so determined to make the freaking 3D printer copy before the end of the stream. Yeah, that padlock key was a big help because it cuts a lot of time to the walking.
Please deposit any metallic items you have in the security box.
I think they might break through after this copy alloy thing. So epic. 3D printing. Kinda. Oh shiz. Alright, so thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna leave the stream here. Hopefully killing these dogs, because they've been annoying me this whole time. Just kidding. Sorry to all the dog lovers. No, I'm kidding. Well, they're zombie dogs. They're, you know. But guys, no, I really appreciate this so much. Thank you for anybody that's been here with me this whole time. And anybody that came and went even. I'm so happy that you were here in the first place. And please check the link in the description. Donate if you can, please. It would mean the world to me. It would